the core lessons that changed my mind is the power of the mindset. So if you have done Centonomy, any other form of Centonomy, they talk about transforming your mind. So in any course, there has to be something to do with the mindset shift. So in essence, as a man thinketh, so is he. So if you think you're good enough, you'll be good enough and you'll work at it. And I like the fact that you have already differentiated yourself from the crowd and from any other person by virtue of sacrificing yourself for 14 weeks. Could have been on a Wednesday. It was Wednesday, Saturday, and Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday, Saturday. Yes, those days. Sacrifice, you put in the money, you put in the time, and you put in the effort. That in of itself has set you aside from the crowd. I remember there was a time Waithaka mentioned in the class, and he said, congratulations, you have finished the class. But guess what? If you don't implement anything, you have wasted your money. And it's a lot of money. So it's just a reminder, imagine, it works if you work. With your mindset, you're already there. You've already begun the journey. It's easier if you just keep it flowing and continue. So if you forget anything, let my voice haunt you to make sure you put in the work. Because otherwise, as Waithaka would have said, you have wasted your money. Imagine how much and what you'd have done with that amount of money. Okay. Then, I think another module that made impact is the aspect of design thinking. So this is where you go through the process. I don't think I need to explain. For the plus ones, see, join class. Ama mtapata siri baadaye. But design thinking is just about being creative and finding alternative sources of income. So prior to, again, implementing this, I was a one-man show. I was doing everything from the training, from the consultancy, and to everything. Then you realize the business cannot outgrow you. So one, you want alternative sources of income, but two, you also want to build a legacy. So in terms of design thinking, apart from just focusing on yourself and coming up with alternative sources of income, you're able to make sure your business grows to a level that is just beyond you, yeah? Because that's what we want, yeah? And it's part of soft life. Yes, okay. So another thing that I think I got from the class is, like I mentioned, I'm in the legal profession. So in the legal profession, one, we are limited in terms of how we market ourselves. Then secondly, I had to come up with a platform that takes me a bit seriously. So for me, most people will go to TikTok, will go to Instagram and the likes, but you realize how you package yourself as a profession. I had to gear towards LinkedIn. So taking the steps and taking the information I learned, at least now, I'm proud to announce myself. My LinkedIn, at least, in a car, ikona life. In a car, I'm a serious person. I can be taken seriously. So, shameless plug, you can look at my LinkedIn, Judy Ochollah, just as the name indicates, Judy and then Ochollah. And then you'll be able to find what I've done and how we can partner together. So that is part of now, just understanding digital marketing. And I've mentioned the aspect of diversifying my income. I'd also forgotten to mention part of the solution that we offer is, if anyone who's a friend of an advocate who is in the Kenya School of Law, I'm sure they have confessed to you how that place is a beautiful experience. Anyone with a personal experience? Yes, the house experience. Exactly. I'm telling you. And then, unfortunately, I think, last I checked, it's only 14% of people who pass the bar exams. So, heshimu wakili. Hii maneno ya wakili ya kuikwanaki wa heshimu. We go through a lot. Yeah. So, part of the solution I offered, I realized this is a problem, is just trying to help people pass the bar exams. And that I realized also in terms of how can I reach the people and understand, because I can't fight Kenya School of Law, I can't fight the Council of Legal Education, but I can help the students. So that's part of also creative thinking and improving your business and the likes. Prior to Centonomy career, I had taken Centonomy 101. And it's interesting, like I keep saying, if you put in the work, it will work. So I have evidence for Centonomy 101 through the book, because it's like a crash program for the book. And again, last night I was going through what I had written. It's a bit private, so I won't share. I hope camera ijashika. But I wrote this, and some places I even wrote the date. And I'm telling you, these things work if you work. There's some places where I got the goals 7 out of 9. When you're writing these goals, kuna zingine hata I'm like, hey, Judy, hey, unajiamini tena sana. But because I'd written some of these goals in 2019, I'm like, okay, it's actually working. And if you put in the work, it works. Again, so for 101, the major thing that helped me was about tracking my finances, which I do to date. And it has spilled over to even how I manage my business accounts. And then Centonomy Career Hub. Again, you know, data doesn't lie. I have my notes for Career Hub. And the date was, just give me a second. Yes, so clearly there's evidence. And then these are the goals I had written for Career Hub in terms of what I want to do and how I intend to do them and etc. So I think even in Entrepreneur, they make you write your short-term goals, your long-term goals, etc. So I can tell you out of the 10 goals, I can see that I accomplished 7 out of 10, which is not bad. Yes, it's encouraging. So in short, what I'm trying to say is, if you take anything home, is you have just begun the journey. It feels intimidating, but you've given yourself a head start, whether you're in business or whether you're just you're thinking about starting business. Case in point, I have not started business and I decided to take myself seriously. But so far where I have reached is because I have decided to put in the work and put in the effort and to make sure I'm intentional with making it work. I'm sure if you have interacted with the Centonomy group, they are really supportive. And for example, case in point, we are good friends with Ruby. Anytime she sees me, she's like, how's business? What have you done? How is it going? etc. Because sometimes I see I'm nervous because I have to give an account of what I have done. But you see, it's giving accountability. So in essence, the Power to Graduate has now given you the knowledge. Now it's up to you to take the knowledge that you have learned and put it into practice. And the journey is beautiful. It's full of up and down, but it's worth it. And because, again, like I mentioned, you have given yourself a head start by investing in yourself. And as a result, investing in your business, it will pay off if you put in the work.